how many churches and museums do I get for doing this 10-minute hike?
We're Zeke and Terri, midlife empty nest travel adventurers.
Join us as we navigate our lives and the world, mostly together.
We are starting off our day with an easy, quick win here at the Post
Wait a
Italian.
second, you're not the one who has to speak Italian in order to get the Franco-Belli.
Well, I can wave the postcards and chant USA.
Did you bring the postcards?
Yeah, they're on my bag.
Oh, okay.
All right, here we
Oh,
go.
let's go.
Let's see.
E lo stesso per Canada è stato perfetto, grazie. Grazie. Buona giornata.
Here's
So-
the adventure for the day.
Okay, so when you get to the post office, go to the little machine and get a number because you need a number in order to get called up.
Kind of like the meat counter.
And so I said, mi dispiace, parlo un po' di italiano, ma vorrei 30 francobolli per cartoline a Stati Uniti e Canada.
Well done, Terry. Excellent job in the post office. One big adventure done for the day, buying international postage, not just your regular postage.
By the way, so I say to the gal, I'm sorry, I don't speak a lot of Italian, or I speak a little bit of Italian, and then she proceeds to go very quickly, not lentamente, and the only thing I got out of it was it used to be that they required more than one type of stamp, and now it's changed, and otherwise, I mean, oh my God.
Well, what you need to do is you've practiced and rehearsed your little spiel about how you don't speak Italian. It's so good that they don't believe you. So what you need to do is rehearse one that's all sort of garbled with, mispronunciations and such, and then they'll believe that you don't speak Italian. Anyway, we got stamps. We're sending out postcards. Sign up to...
Yeah. So if you would like a postcard, and we've decided rather than sending the Terry and Zeke ones, we will be purchasing them from the various places. So today it'll be Gubbio, and Afton, you are getting one. So thank you for...
Sorry, you're taking this right here.
Okay.
It's going to loop around and send you that way.
Okay. You're... Afton, you're getting one because you signed up for our newsletter on zekeandterri.com, and you follow us on Instagram, and you follow us on YouTube, and you comment, and we have your home address. So look for sometime in the next month postcard from Gubbio. So we're parking down at the bottom. Looks like it's going to be a little bit of a schlep up the hill.
Our first stop in Gubbio is a palazzo.
It's a museum. Museo Artie Mestieri, Palazzo Beni, I think is what it's called.
Okay. Very local, it seems, as to what they're showcasing here, which is appropriate. The first floor has a bunch of flags. I guess they have crazy flag throwers that are renowned for this area, so they celebrate that. And then as you go up, all the different crafts. We've got the sewing and the iron. We've got a big
Goldsmith. We had the book making down below. There was also a bedroom and a kitchen, and kind of showing what life was like at some point in the history of Gubbio.
Yeah, so onward to more Gubbio.
Got a full-on lecture or informational session from Francesco at the museum down at the bottom. Pretty cool. And now we're walking up and up and up. Medieval town in Umbria. I think one of the signs says it's the prettiest medieval town in Umbria or in Italy, and I have to say it's incredible.
Pretty cool history too. The square behind us,
Piazza Grande.
Piazza Grande is where the Festival di Ceri?
Di
Ceri starts. And what this is 8 people at a time carry a several 100-kilo kind of statue, if you will, that's maybe 4 to 5 meters tall. That's 15 to 18 feet or 20 feet. And they run around town with it, and the people swap in and out of the team. There's 3 different teams, and at the beginning of it, they're all laying down in this square, and then sort of the grand marshal of the parade, if you will, for that year comes out, and for each of the 3, there's a different ceramic jug, and the grand marshal throws the jug, breaks the jug on the thing, and then the team picks it up and they start running.
And it takes about 8 minutes to get from here to the top, and they're changing people every 30 to 50 meters. They're changing people. And
they've done this every year for like 1,000 years, except for 3 years. One of them was in World War I. And 2 of them were 2020 and 2021. And
what was really cool is in the museum down at the bottom of the hill, they actually have 3 of the jugs
from 2020.
From 2020, because they built them thinking that they were hopeful that they were going to be able to do the race, but they were unable to, and they knew in 2021 they weren't going to be able to. So typically you wouldn't be able to see actual examples of these beautiful
jugs.
Yeah, I guess containers that hold water with a spout or liquid.
And the other interesting story, Francesco at the museum down at the bottom of the hill, the Palazzo, told us is that in World War I, they didn't do it 1 year, and then the next year, the soldiers from this area made a deal with the Austrians that they were battling with to take a day off. And
so
for that
it was a day-long ceasefire.
They built their thing and ran around with it, and then came back, and then the next day they went back to war.
Yeah, no, it's pretty crazy. So of all of the medieval hill towns that I've been to, this is comparable to Assisi in terms of the size. It's actually maybe a little bit bigger. There's a cable car that apparently is quite harrowing that goes up to the top, so we're going to go check that out. But I'm definitely adding this to the list when I pull together the Umbria blog post, or add to it on places to see.
And the shoulder season right now is a great time to do it. I'm sure it's pretty busy in the high season.
And right now, while it's breezy, it is absolutely beautiful. You can see that, we have some emo skies that make for some really great pictures. So as I said, I'll have the blog post that's out on our website at zekeandterri.com. Just go to the blogs and look for the one on Umbria.
Here we go.
town. This is my favorite hill town, medieval hill town in Umbria. This is spectacular.
It's not quite harrowing as described. Again, ski lift crossed with a bird cage. That was pretty mellow. Got up here to the top. I'd come up here for the view.
I'd come up here for the view.
Yeah.
This is like number one. You're coming to Umbria, Gubbio needs to be like top of your list. Well, this is crumbly, but we're in good shoes today, so we're going. What have you gotten us into now?
I've got us into a little bit of a hike. So anyway, we're gonna go 10 minutes up, see what we see, and then we gotta turn around and head back down. Because we just can't be walking around a mountain all afternoon.
Zeke, you know I only hike for food and adult beverages. I just can't get over this. It's extraordinary.
All right, so on this hill, there's supposed to be two defense structures, or there were two defense structures from way back in the day. Because of course, at the top of the hill, you can see anybody coming at you. One of them is pretty much completely gone. The other one's still here, but it might just be in the location of where they put the Guinness World Record for the largest Christmas tree in the world, which apparently is this thing. So we'll see what else we can find up here.
Viewer questions. One of the questions had to do with the showers in the castle in Umbria, and at Castello di Monterone, the showers are fantastic.
Good.
My only complaint is that it's one of those rain showers, and for those of us who don't want to wash our hair every day, there is a hand wand kind of thing, so you can use that. But otherwise, the water has been fantastic. It's been super, super warm.
Castles apparently have a reputation. Sometimes their plumbing's a little old.
Ours is absolutely not, and there's a toilet, there's a bidet. We saw that in our Rome bathroom at the Hotel Mercure Corso Trieste. So definitely not complaining about the bathroom facilities at the castle.
It is a little narrow. It's definitely not ADA compliant. I'm not sure if they have that option at the castle, but this one is pretty snug, but the shower's good.
So another question had to do with if we're comfortable with an electric vehicle in Italy, and there's actually quite a bit of infrastructure in place for electric vehicles. Although we've only seen one Polestar, we've seen about 10 Teslas. I think we've seen more hybrids. I would feel very comfortable with an electric vehicle if you rent one in Italy. It's like we had no problems finding a Tesla supercharger outside of Perugia, and it looks like we've got quite a few more on our route up to Verona, Venice, Bergamo.
Just have to plan accordingly, just like any other road trip. Even in California, with all the chargers we have, you still have to plan.
Yeah, absolutely. We had another question about breakfasts, and the breakfasts at the places we've stayed at have been fantastic. At the castle, I mean, there's eggs, there's bacon, there's the bread, the cheese, some salumi.
And your favorite?
The cornettos with cream. But cornettos are basically Italian croissants. There's fruit, yogurt, granola, seeds, nuts,
Coffee.
as many cappuccini as you want to order. The breakfast at the hotel, the Mercure breakfasts tend to be good. We paid extra for the one at the Mercure, but a lot of the Mercures actually have breakfasts included, so you just have to check on the website. The hotel that we're staying at, breakfast is included, which makes the rate super, super reasonable. You're not within walking distance to anything. And then in Venice, we did not get the breakfast because we're just 5 minutes away from a place where I know we can get good cornettos and cappuccini.
Just by contrast, I was in Portugal for 2 weeks, Spain and Portugal. I think our average room rate per night was $60 maybe, and they always had breakfast. So it seems to be included. We're not paying $60 a night though for these rooms.
So if you have any sort of questions about how we travel, we did a whole video on trip planning. I'll go ahead and put a link to that somewhere up there. Or if you have questions about some of the places that we are going to, if you get them to us either via email at zekeandterri@gmail.com or in the comment section, then what we can do is try to answer the questions. If we don't have the answers, we can look them up and be prepared to answer them in a future video. So please let us know.
You bet.
Woohoo!
There you go. Ciao. Grazie.
Buona serata.
Yep.
Okay, this is So at dinner tonight, we had a conversation about how great it was meeting Francesco at the art and material, I think, museum at the Palazzo Beni in Gubbio. And how, while I was in the bathroom, he came out to get some espresso, Zeke was waiting, and Francesco went into a history lesson on this festival to Ceri.
Right, he gave
Gubbio.
me the whole story and the history on that, and it just was interesting then when we were walking around the town to see how they've made a bunch of the jugs or
the pitchers
that they end up busting up, and that's a thing which I wouldn't have known about just walking around. I would have figured they just like jugs. And
we wouldn't have really understood the importance of Piazza Grande. And then when we were up at the Basilica of San Ubaldo,
we saw the things that they put the statues on.
They're not statues. When I looked at, I was looking at some information on ChatGPT and found out the Ceris, the CERI, the Ceris, they're large candles. They're supposed to commemorate large candles.
So Francesco's got to work on his routine because he didn't say candles.
He didn't say anything about the candles, but it got us thinking about how important the information that we got from him was for context, and so much of what we saw as we were wandering around Gubbio. And we are DIYers, so we like to kind of walk around and experience things on our own. And I kind of wonder how much we miss as a result. So
Exactly.
We are looking to hire a guide or do something on Saturday when we have our full day in Verona, so that we can have kind of a macro and a micro to give us context as we are wandering around and see what that experience is.
But what we're going to do right now is go finish a video and stretch our calves out, because that climb up the hill was a good one, but it was worth it for the view.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's more of a road day, but I'm sure we'll find something interesting to find.